you want to come home or you want to stay just a little longer in a safe space that's comfortable. Jordan, you ready?
I'm here. My mic is on. We've got tornado warnings that continue for Southwest Louisiana. Patrick has highlighted these on our storm tracker radar. Patrick, can we hear you?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Blessings. Good evening, sir.
Right. You saw the tornado warnings. Tornado watch continue until 8 a.m. And there's an extreme wind warning in effect until 1 a.m. For eastern sections, southeastern of southeast Texas, southeastern Hardin, eastern Jefferson, Orange, South Jasper, South Newton County, and of course Calcasieu and Cameron Parish in the southwest Louisiana. Hurricane warning in effect as we continue to see the storm inch its way closer to the coastline. There you go, the eye getting very close to making a landfall right now as the storm is about to make landfall within the hour over towards Cameron, Louisiana, as then be moving. Let's do this. Let me increase this just to see. And we're about right here. Let's see. Yep, that's what I think. Maybe a little wider than that. But anyway, let's do this. Take the arrowhead off and go a little bit wider. I want to see how wide, yep, the center of circulation. So we can do this. And we're going to make it okay. And what I'm going to do is go from about now and go right down this.
Lose you again, Patrick?
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm gonna be really honest. I was talking with our control room. We are working off rechargeable batteries that have been going since since today. Can y'all hear Patrick in the control room?
I am on.
Okay. We have two working microphones, so I'm going to pass mine over to Patrick here for just a second. And while we do that, Adej, I will let you talk.
Yes, guys, in the meantime, we have the mayor of Orange here on the phone, Larry Spears Jr., and someone we definitely wanted to talk to this evening because Orange is definitely a place that will feel the impact of Hurricane Laura, breathing a slight sigh of relief because, again, the track did shift slightly east, but still not out of the woods. First and foremost, Mayor, I want to know how you're feeling.
Right now, we're sitting here and we're still praying and believing and asking the Lord to dissipate this storm, but we're holding strong. We're out here at Little Cypress High School, courtesy of Ms. Brister, the superintendent, and we're out here with our police department, our fire department, and some of our city staff, and we're just holding on and waiting to see what's happening, what's going to happen.
Okay, talk to us about some of the preparations that were in place. This isn't something that you just get in order, especially living on the Gulf Coast, especially situated where your city is. Talk to us about how you guys have been all season for this very event.
Well, you know, as soon as it starts getting close to hurricane season, we start talking about what needs to be set in place, what needs to be purchased and ordered and prepared ahead of time. And so we talked about that several months ago. And I tell you, you sit there and you prepare for it, hoping that it doesn't happen. But you are very thankful that if it does happen, you have what you need. So I really, truly appreciate all of our city staff that have gotten us prepared for such a situation as this.
Okay, when you talk about having what you need, Mayor, what does that mean? Talk to us about some of the resources that you have available.
Yes, ma'am. So we having adequate equipment, you know, the high rescue vehicles, up-to-date equipment that, you know, will not break down on you in a time of need, communication opportunities for all of your dispatchers and all of your officers and firemen out there. So, you know, cots, food, having a contract in place to feed people. And then, of course, my good friend, Mr. John Gauthier, our county judge, when he called the mandatory evacuation, our emergency management coordinator, Ms. Leanne Brown, had everything set in place for us to smoothly evacuate the citizens, and I'm very thankful to them both for all of their efforts.
So let's talk logistics in terms that folks can understand. If we did a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in the infrastructure in the city of Orange to handle this size and this intensity of storm?
It's kind of a tough question to answer because you never really know. Every storm that we've had has been something different. We've been through Harvey, we've been through Rio, we've been through all these other different types of storms. we've made a lot of improvements to our city. So I do feel very confident, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you just really just don't know what's going to happen with all of these hurricane force winds. So we're just going to continue to pray and believe and have faith that all will be well in the morning.
Absolutely. Are you pleased with the response from the mandatory evacuation order in the city? Do you feel like enough of the citizens actually listened, packed up, and moved out?
Yes, ma'am. You know, we were very, very surprised. We only had around maybe 200 to 220 people needed to be evacuated. I truly think that the power of social media and all of the radar and the photos that were put out let people know, hey, this was a serious deal. And so we used social media to get the message out. And I'm very, very thankful for people who listened. And I'm just praying for those who didn't, but hopefully we'll be spared and we'll be able to check on them first thing in the morning.
Mayor, let's talk current conditions. What's it looking like in Orange right now?
Well, we're starting to get some moderate winds here over in the north side of Orange, Texas. A slight rainfall, and so far we haven't experienced the heavy eye that is to come. But we're starting to see some trees blow pretty hard, and like I said, slight rainfall. But we're just hunkering down and just holding tight, hoping that maybe this dissipates or weakens, and we can all get through this unharmed.
Absolutely. And last question for you. For the folks who decided to stay, for the folks who are away and they're listening to us via YouTube or social media, what's the message you have for your people?
We are Orange, Texas strong, and we put God first in all that we do. And I firmly believe that he's going to watch over us. And no matter what happens, we will rebuild and we will be better than we were the day before.
That's definitely a theme that we've been hearing all day, all across Southeast Texas from all of the leaders. So we're standing in agreement with you there, Mayor Spears, and we'll continue to check in with you if you'll allow us to, so that we can continue to have up-to-date information about the current status of the city of Orange. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Bless you.
All right, same to you.
And Dejanique, as we've been doing that interview, we were seeing live pictures from our Orange Sky Cam on the right of your screen now. Live pictures including their JALEESA IRIZARRY, a reporter from our sister station, Ken's TV in San Antonio, waving at us. And I'm glad that the spirits are high in Beaumont, even in a place where we have an excessive wind warning now in effect. This is for a large part of Southeast Texas. I know you're getting into position there, but I'm guessing you can hear me. JALEESA, give us a bit of a snapshot. It certainly looks like the wind and rain have picked up just a bit since we checked 20 minutes ago.
Absolutely, it most certainly has. I was just standing outside here just trying to gather some video for social media, and even in the, I guess, 2 minutes that I was standing out there trying to get some video, I feel the wind on my back, some gust really just come through, and the rain kind of picking up on my back right now too. My rain jacket is absolutely soaked now because of those wind gusts. So yes, we are seeing a amount of rain come down. It's really light, but it is steady. So it is significant. It is wet on the roads, that's for sure. And in regards to wind, we are seeing those wind gusts up as well fairly significantly. I don't know if Alex can pan over to those bushes over there. That's kind of been my indicator for the last hour or so of just how the wind has been coming around. Just seeing those bushes really kind of sway back and forth is really a big indicator for us of just what we're seeing right here. But again, just what we're feeling too. You feel those gusts and it kind of just takes you just a bit and you adjust to that. Nothing incredibly powerful, but again, it is of some significance, especially since we haven't seen rain like this since about 1 p.m. earlier today. So again, yeah, decent amount of rain and wind here. Again, slowly and surely picking up here as we get closer and closer to Hurricane Laura making her way here to Beaumont.
All right, JALEESA, a wonderful update on what's going on there. A lot of us watching very carefully. We see the lights still on across the street and certainly in the parking lot there at Education First Federal Credit Union. We'll be visiting with you throughout the next couple of hours. If you're joining us from around Central Texas, maybe in North Texas right now, we want to let you know, friends, we are going to be here for you. 12 News has a strong commitment to putting Southeast Texas first, and we are on the air. We've been on since 10 o'clock this morning, nonstop, trying to get you potential life-saving information. We know the storm surge is going to be particularly a dangerous threat for folks across the state line. in places like Lake Charles and Cameron Parish, and that is why the interstate is closed right now. Such a huge stretch of Interstate 10 closed from the state line. Getting some new information. We've got Marie right now in the Galveston County area. I'm not sure if she's on the island on Galveston Bay. Let's see what's happening there with Marie.
In the dry hours before Hurricane Laura, you could hear the consistent hum of people heading west. From her worst. But put an ear toward Galveston and you'll hear those who stayed.
That's right past the trailer on the right.
Derek Trahan
Catch up.
hit plywood to bring to a home that needs it.
I mean, I thought it's what you're supposed to do.
Boarding up windows before storms isn't new. Man's way of getting it done is after Hurricane Harvey.
During Harvey, Facebook was on the platform we had.
Ready and rescue page for his county as a place for people to post what they know and any help they could be in desperate need of.
When we made the page, we can go to one spot and everything will be.
It led him to this house and so many others he can't remember. But he does know why he's doing this.
For the people that are gone, like it happens, I would want somebody to do this for my wife, my kids, family. They'll do these right here.
He'll learn if all this work held up in the morning. But on this night, with Laura ahead of us, it's that he tried.
I stay here, I live, I have to be here, so why not take care of it?
I'm SAAVEDRA.
Marie, such a storyteller with that perspective, beautiful image there. And like they said, we certainly hope that most of that will be here when we wake up in the morning. It is 11:29. You live continuing coverage from the networks of 12 News, broadcasting on our 12 News over the air, online. We're also on YouTube right now. Our signal being all around the world, and we know so many of you are watching from locations far away from Southeast Texas. We appreciate your support, your prayers for the people, families, and for our homes, for our businesses. We are hoping that we do this, but we know it is a very dangerous night, especially across the state line. This is like Lake Charles, Louisiana. Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn is back in our Storm Tracker Center. I want to bring him back in as we hit the bottom of the hour here. Tell us what you're seeing in terms of the winds and really when the rain you expect will continue to pick up.
Yeah, just updating the latest on the extreme wind warning for portions of the Triangle and for southwest Louisiana. It's until 1 p.m. This is a widespread wind event, obviously, with the landfalling hurricane. And as we take a look at Doppler radar, the eye wall, let me stop it. We're probably seeing very close to hurricane force winds in Cameron, Louisiana, based on what I'm seeing right now. So that means it's only about within 15 miles of fall. So shortly before midnight, it ought to make landfall very close to Cameron, Louisiana. Now, if you take a look at this and bear with me, go with a north-northwest wind or movement. Let's see. I'm going to put on an overlay here so that you can see what I'm talking about. Basically, if you take the eye wall, something like, and it's moving basically this direction, that's where the eye wall is going to go over Orange and probably close to Bridge City. Ooh. And parallel along this line. So Lake Charles will be in the eye wall. So will Hackberry, so will Cameron. The eye wall will go over DeQuincy, Louisiana, Vinton, Sulphur, Westlake, Moss Bluff, and then on off towards the north and towards Newton County. But this is the area that will see probably the most devastating wind effects, including back over to Orange, maybe around Deweyville, Mauriceville, maybe Port Arthur. I still think Beaumont could see some wind gusts to 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, and probably closer to 120, 130, maybe 140 in Orange as it continues to march off towards the north. So that's what we're looking at the width of the eye and its movement. It will certainly quickly weaken as it makes landfall probably within the next half hour to probably hour or so. But as you can see, it's about 34 miles wide as far as the eye will put this into motion. And rainfall rates obviously going to be more torrential, but you can see these bands.
Oh yeah, you know, one thing that strikes me, and we hear you say it, that the western side of the storm is the best.
Clean side.
The clean side versus the dirty side. And, you know, part of it is just the size of the storm structure, right? I mean, on the eastern side, I mean, look, the rain, the outer bands just go from many, many miles into the central Louisiana coastline.
Yeah. Again, it's a little bit of a lag here, but you're going to see if I take and draw on here. Oh, stop it. If I bisect this storm and go like this, now the rain is quickly expanding up towards the north. But you can see the heaviest and the most intense rainfall with these bands, these feeder bands. That's where you're going to see the real potential for issues with flooding and the heaviest fall. But you can see these bands rotating around. Those are the feeder bands. The training effect. If they were to sit over your area for, you know, like 5-6 hours like it did with Harvey, then you're going to have 2 feet of rainfall in a day. But this is not going to happen because it's going to continue to move. This storm is moving. No indications this will be enough. Certainly not 50 to 60, not 60 some odd inches of rainfall. This storm is more of a wind event and a storm surge producer. This side of the storm, let me this way, let's put on this side of the storm is the onshore or dirty side of the storm. This is where the biggest surge will be. Not to say that there's not going to be any storm surge into Orange County, but there's an offshore wind here. But let me also show you this, and we'll increase this. This wind is blowing the water, and it is piling up in through Vermilion Parish, and this is not as big as I want it. There you go. The wind is blowing this water in, okay, and it's going to cause flooding coming from the east, coming into Orange. Same thing here. The water is going to come into trophically flood Cameron Parish and into Calcasieu Parish, and the water is going to come in from the east because of this structure of the storm around the eye.
You know, and Patrick, we count on you to put this in perspective, offer these explanations. And when we talk storm surge, to be able to think this part of it, I live here, or my loved ones in, you know, this part of Cameron or Calcasieu Parish, so it's coming this way, and then the next person, you know, we've got quite an interesting science behind what is just a monstrous storm. Deja